Today, we're going to build something a bit different to what we usually build. So today we're going to build a voice note summarizer tool with AI. This is more of a self-productivity tool rather than something you might sell to your customers or implement in your business. What this tool will do is it will take your voice notes that you upload to a certain folder in your Google Drive or your SharePoint or your Dropbox. It will then transcribe it and then extract key points from it. So I use this as a way to organize my thoughts and just make to-do lists, that sort of stuff. Because sometimes, you got a lot of things in your head, you just ramble it out into an audio note, a voice note, upload it to your Google Drive, and then get an email back with the key items. Now, I know every time I make these videos, there are people in the comments saying, why don't you use this tool? Why don't you use that tool? Why are you building this yourself in make.com? Like doing this and that. So I can say that I've used a lot of the meeting summarizer tools like Fireflies, Fathom, Val HQ, I think is another one where they'll join your Zoom meeting or Google Meet meeting and then summarize those. I still do use some of those, but those are really good for meetings. What I'm building today is really focused on like self-productivity, right? So helping you organize your to-do list and your thoughts and that sort of stuff. And there are tools out there for this as well. But I think building it yourself, just one, is a good learning experience, two, is fun, and three, just gives you a lot more flexibility around how the tool works. So without further ado, let's get into building. So first, I'm just going to build out the overall structure to give you an idea of what it looks like. So for me, what I do is I record a lot of my audio notes on my phone. So I want a way that I can easily push my audio files from the voice recorder on my phone into make.com. And the way I do that is with Google Drive. So I think on most devices, once you've made an audio recording, there should be a way to share or save that audio recording into Google Drive. So what I have as the starting point is a Google Drive module where I will watch a folder in my Google Drive. So I've made a folder in my Google Drive called Audio Notes, and this is just where I save all of my audio notes. And every time I save my audio notes, this make automation will trigger. So let's just set that up, select the folder, audio notes, and we only need to pull in one audio note at a time. And that all looks good. So every time there's a new audio note file, a new file created in the audio note folder, this automation will trigger. And what I need to do next is we've kicked off the automation. We needed to download the audio file. So there's another Google Drive action called download a file. So I just use that, and the file ID is just what we got from the first action in this automation. And now we've got the file. What we need to do is get it transcribed with AI. So OpenAI has a model called Whisper, an audio model, and you can use it within make.com by using the ChatGPT module and pressing create a transcription here. So this is pretty straightforward to use. It's already mapped the file I've downloaded from Google Drive, so I don't need to do that. You can choose the model you want to use. I think make.com only has this for now, but I'm sure you can probably type in your own model and use something else. Prompt, you can just leave it blank if you want. If you mention a lot of specific terms or names that OpenAI or ChatGPT or Whisper might not be able to transcribe, you can include it in your prompt. So if you work with a lot of people or you mention terms that are not well known, you might want to include it in your prompt so that when Whisper does the transcribing, it actually transcribes it accurately. But for now, for this example, let's leave that blank whilst we build out the overall flow. So now we've got the transcript from ChatGPT. What we need to do next is use ChatGPT, and I'm going to use GPT-4o to extract the key points from my transcript, right? And now this is where you can be a bit creative around what you want. So if you're using this purely as a to-do list, then your prompt can be focused around that, right? But I use it as a mix of a to-do list as well as like helping me structure my thoughts. So I'm just going to pick GPT-4o, and then in the system prompt, I'm just going to say, the user will provide you with a transcript. Please extract the key points. If it Here's a to-do list. Just extract action items. The user might be sharing different thoughts. So help them organize thoughts. Now I'm going to say respond in dot points where possible, just because I find dot points a lot easier to read. And then the next message here, we're just going to pass in the audio file, in the transcript that we've gotten from the Whisper. Cool. So that's the text. And then maximum tokens, just gonna keep it pretty short for now. So 500. And that should all be good. And the final module here is going to be an email. So what I like to do is on my phone, I've recorded my audio note, my voice note. I've saved it to the specific folder in Google Drive. And then I want to receive an email with the summary or the action items, whatever it is that I've rambled on into my audio note. So I'm going to use the send an email action within the Gmail module. Recipient is just going to be myself. Whoop. The subject is just going to be audio note summary, so I know what it is. And I usually just put in the name, file name. You can also just get ChatGPT to generate like a summary title as well for you to insert here, but I don't find it that helpful. So I just keep it super simple and I put the result, so the summary here. So you can see here, you can use HTML tags for it to be formatted more nicely. So we'll come back and do that. For now, it's just going to look quite ugly, my email, but let's just try that for now. So that is all looking good. So just to recap, we have a folder in Google Drive where I'm uploading my audio notes. It will download, it will transcribe the audio into text, and then I'll use GPT-4o to summarize, and then I'll send it back to myself as an email. So let's run through an example. So I'm going to press run here, and there's no files in here yet, so nothing will happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my phone right now. So I'm using an iPhone. I'm going to use the Voice Memos app to record an audio note, and then I'm going to share it into Google Drive. So you'll see it pop up here once I'm finished recording. So as an example, I'm just going to record a shopping list. Next time I go to the supermarket, remind me to buy eggs, bacon, milk, as well as a bottle of tomato sauce. So I've recorded my voice note. I'm just going to quickly edit it because it's geotagging me. So I'm going to say example. So I've just renamed it. Usually don't need to do this, but I've got that now. So now I'm going to share it into Google Drive, which is the easy part. So I will share it into Google Drive and we're all good to go. So it's uploading and it should pop up in about 2 seconds. So it's popped up here. And if we go back and run this again, it should pull in the example audio recording. So it's done that. Whisper's transcribed it. Next time I go to the supermarket, remind me buy this stuff. And then here it's got the items in ChatGPT. And the email that I've received is this, which is very nice. So that was a very simple example. Now it's all working. Let's make it a bit more complicated, right? So let's say respond in email HTML, just so it is formatted nicely and we don't need to change anything here. So let me try a different example, right? Where I doing something a bit more complicated, right? So I'm going to record another example. I'm building Dumpling AI, which is a AI web scraper. We have so many different use cases. I don't know what to focus on. So some people are using it to scrape leads. Some people are just using it to collect competitor research, and other people are just doing it for fun. Because there's so many different segments I could be targeting, I really have no idea what to target. There's so many pros and cons. It's really hard to decide. So I finished recording my example. Again, I'm going to just quickly share it into Google Drive, and it should be popping up in a few seconds in my audio notes. There we go. And then if I run this again, it should be able to summarize that. if I go into my Gmail. So I've got all my thoughts. So these examples are pretty short. Sometimes I ramble for like 5 to 10 minutes, and that's when this is really powerful. But this is sort of the overall process, and it's such a great self-productivity tool. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any thoughts, questions, or feedback, feel free to leave a comment. If you enjoyed this tutorial and would like to see more like it, please give this video a like. But that's it for today, and I'll see you in my next video.